What's up, my Cancer people? This is your monthly forecast for October 2016. This is for October 15th through the 31st, so it's like a mid to late month forecast for anyone who was born under the sign of Cancer, whether by the sun sign, the moon sign, or the rising sign. And don't forget to look at your whole chart because you're made of more than just one sign. I posted a link in the description box to where you can go and check out your birth chart for free and see what other energies, what other signs make up you as a unique person. And don't forget, if you find out what your moon or your rising sign are, watch the monthly horoscopes for those as well, especially the rising will be the most accurate. And also, I have a link to my website below and in the info I button at the top there, to where you can go to my website to order a reading if you would like a personalized reading for me to take a look at your chart and give some interpretation and some insight into your life, your purpose, your relationships, anything you would like me to look at. I would be glad to do so. All right, now on to your October forecast. All right, so right off the bat, we have the sun in an opposition to Uranus on the 15th of October. So this energy, it sets highest peak on the 15th, but whenever I give dates for transits, that's the date it's on at its highest peak. But the energy begins to build a few days before, and it's still hanging around and kind of fading out a few days after. So on the 15th, it's at its highest potency. So the sun is in Libra, which for you guys is your fourth house of home and family. Since Cancer is the fourth sign on the zodiac wheel, and this is the fourth house energy that's happening, four signs from you. Four signs from you means extra Cancer-y energy, and I hope that made some sort of sense to somebody out there. But pretty much it's highlighting things that are important to Cancer, like your home, your family life, your comfort, nurturing people, nurturing yourself, your home, like the environment that you live in, your shell. Okay, it's pretty much your shell. So we have an opposition here between your shell and the outer world. That can mean your home life and your family life and career. So what this tells me is that something can be brought about, like an energy of restlessness when it comes to your career, that affects your home life, affects how comfortable you are. And on the 16th, we have a full moon that comes into the mix. So now we have emotions, okay? You're ruled by the moon, so you know all about the emotional stuff that the moon brings, especially when it's a full moon. So now there's emotions in the mix here, coming in contact with Uranus, okay? So your emotions are at the top of your chart, which rules your public life and your career and your social status. And then the sun is at the bottom. So you're wanting to really put an emphasis and a focus on home life and your family, but career is calling you, and it's calling a change, a call to action, okay? Because this is in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. It's very driven, action-oriented. It does things quickly. It doesn't always look before it leaps. That's Aries energy. So when it comes to your career, you know what? You may have some sudden change happen that affects your home life. Maybe you decide to change courses in career, change paths. And if you don't decide to do this on your own around this full moon, then something can be brought to light that kind of pushes you into a breakthrough in career. So this is what the full moon highlights for Cancers on the 16th. On the 18th, Venus, the planet of love, relationships, and enjoyment, moves into Sagittarius, which for you guys is your sixth house of the work environment. Interesting. So Venus, wherever she travels and transits through, as far as areas of your life, she kind of softens things and brings a more pleasant type of vibe to that area of life. So for you guys, this is work. Okay, so this can mean that you have, because Venus represents the feminine energy, you can have a new feminine energy person step into your work realm, the work environment. This can be a new female co-worker, or even a male that's feminine or born under a Venus ruled sign like Taurus or Libra. So they may have those characteristics. This can mean that you start earning more money for the hard work that you do, okay? But this isn't really a money house. This is more of like the actual labor of doing work. It can bring more clientele, especially if you're in like a Venusian, Venus-ruled field like beauty, like anything that has to do with creativity and art and imagery. Maybe if you're on YouTube or social media, you're like an Instagram model, or if you are just a hairdresser, if you do anything Venusian, you do nails for a living, okay? You do the nail, the beautiful nail, okay? Then Venus moving into your work area can bring more of that type of clientele to you as well, more business to you. So that's very good news. The sixth house also deals with your health and your daily routines. So there's a positive and a negative here to Venus being in this area. The positive is she may encourage you to add something new to your routine and your regimen to help your appearance, because Venus rules beauty. So maybe you might be on a beauty product buying spree during this transit. You may go to like an aesthetician. How do you say that? Somebody that does like, beautifying of the face, okay? Like facials and waxing. You may want to try some things like that if you never have, or just have more of an emphasis on getting those things done. Maybe a dermatologist, maybe look into plastic surgery, something to help your body, or maybe just look into healing your body naturally to make your appearance a lot better, like having a better diet, start exercising, going back to the gym, and just really taking better care of yourself. Now, the negative is the sixth house rules habits, okay? Habits that you have in your daily life. And Venus rules things that are pleasant, pleasing to the five senses, which can mean food, mainly sweets. So I have seen people who have this transit of Venus in the sixth develop a bad habit of eating sweets all the time, every day, or people who were born with Venus in their sixth house in their own birth chart have a sweet tooth. I always bring up Prince because he's one of my most favorite people of all time in like the history of like the world and my own life. Prince had Venus in the sixth house, and even though he was known to try to eat healthy and be like vegan or vegetarian here and there, and avoid certain things, he had a sweet tooth. People who were around him a lot in his private life, they have stories about going out to late night ice cream runs for him and things like that, and have candy, like, in his room he has to have certain candy that he likes. So it's an extreme sweet tooth energy if you let it get out of control. And my Cancers, you guys naturally love food by nature for comfort and for good feelings, and it really reaches your soul, okay, more than some other signs. So don't develop the bad habits, develop the good ones with Venus in Sagittarius. On the 22nd of October, we have the sun shifting into the sign of Scorpio. And for you guys, this is your fifth house. Cancers, let me tell you, you guys by nature, usually, generally speaking about your energy, you guys usually love children. And the fifth house is a house of children and having childlike fun with them. So if you have children, you can do a lot more creative things with them. This is Halloween time, so I can see a lot of my Cancers maybe wanting to participate in some more, if you do celebrate Halloween and are open to it, really get into the Halloween costumes and stuff a little bit more than maybe some other signs might, with your children especially, and coming up with some really cool creative ideas to spend time with your kids and do some creative projects with your kids for Halloween, or even just in life in general, even if you don't do Halloween. This is also the house of having childlike fun yourself within your adult life, by, say dating, going out to the movies, going out to festivals and fairs and stuff, which around this time of year, the weather is nicer in a lot of areas. So there are a lot more of those events going on. So celebrate with your boo, get out there. I know you guys can really be homebodies and stay in your comfort zone, in your shell, but the sun in Scorpio is calling you to have fun, especially with an intimate partner. Also, this deals, holy, what the hell? Oh, hello, what the? Okay, sorry about that. Speaking of children, having fun with children, I'm in a hotel because I'm on a trip to take my youngest to Legoland to have some childlike fun. So phone ringing scared the crap out of me. I don't know who called or why they hung up. Anyways, get out there and have some fun, okay, within your dating life, or it doesn't even have to be dating, even with your friends, your family. This is the time to like celebrate the season. In some areas of the world it's the fall, and some it's the spring, but this is the weather transitioning into being a little bit more pleasant, okay, and tolerable to be outside and doing stuff, you know. So don't just stay in your shell during this time, or if you do, like, spend it doing some really fun stuff. On the 19th, we have a conjunction between Mars, the planet of action and drive and initiative and aggression and sometimes impatience. It comes in conjunction with Pluto, the planet that is, it represents the darker side of life, really deep, intense feelings, intense transformation, black and white, life or death type of situations. So they come together. And this is in your opposite sign. And whenever planetary activity happens opposite from you, or which we call the seventh house in astrology, this deals with relationships with other people. Ooh, Cancer. So there's a few scenarios here with this energy. I would be very, very mindful of this energy around the 19th, a few days before, a few days after, because of the fact that this can cause some quarrels within your relationships that can be a little violent at times. Just giving you a fair warning, because Pluto and Mars are both very strong energies, and Pluto can be the great destroyer sometimes, okay? And then Mars is action, so some destructive actions can happen within relationships if you let things get out of control. Positive of this is a lot more passion within your relationships. So some of you guys can have an increase in that, along with energy happening in the sign of Scorpio. You know, this can be very passionate time within relationships. So some fun and some passion. That's good news for you guys. Now, also Mars and Pluto together in the seventh house, dealing with other people one-on-one in general, not just your romantic relationships or like marriage or whatever. This can just cause some conflicts, maybe some heated arguments, some heated disagreements with other people. So I would be careful of that. This is an energy that's very persistent. It's very laser sharp, laser precise, okay, with its focus. So it can be a little bit obsessive. And Mars, you know, Pluto is the obsessive one, and Mars can kind of physically express the obsessiveness. So I can see on the negative side some Cancers getting maybe involved in a casual relationship because of energy happening in your fifth house of casual romantic dating. Then you may want to take things seriously, you know, because you may start getting attached and then start getting obsessive because of Mars and Pluto in your house of relationships with other people on the serious level. So you may be actively pursuing someone, and you need to be careful and make sure that they feel the same way and that's reciprocated. Or it can be the opposite. Maybe you are just having fun dating someone, and then they start turning a little bit crazy and obsessive over you, and maybe expressing that in a way that's a little bit concerning and scary at times. That's a possibility. So be very careful with this energy, and don't go stalking people, okay? Because that is a stalker energy right there. So don't go stalking people, whether online or in person. I'm not saying, oh my God, all Cancers are stalkers, okay? Don't take it up the butt like that. I'm saying this energy is being aimed at you in that way, your sign, your energy. So this is a negative way it can play out if you let it get that way. But if you don't, it can just be a lot of, like I said before, fun and passion in your relationships. On the 24th, Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio, which for you guys is your fifth house. So Mercury in the fifth house. A few things with this energy. Mercury is the mind, it's skills of the hands, it's communication. That means typing, texting, emailing, speaking. You can be using your hands in more creative ways. You can be using your mind to create more ideas for business endeavors, especially if you're involved in a creative business. This can be, your speaking can become a little bit more boastful in a way, because your self-esteem is increased when it comes to energy going into your fifth house. This is like, you know, I am so great. Like, it's a little bit of an energy that's kind of like Leo energy. And if you guys know Leos, they're very confident, and they speak with confidence, and they speak loud. A lot of them are loud. So your speech may become just a little bit louder, a little bit elevated in tone this month, and you may just feel like bragging about your accomplishments. I mean, you've got energy happening in your 10th house of career, Some of you guys may have sudden breakthroughs, sudden things you accomplish, and then, you know, you may be wanting to speak about them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you don't get too like pompous and pretend like you have this crown on your head and you're just so Grey Poupon. So don't let the energy sway you in the negative direction, but positively, yes, business ideas, creative ideas, using your hands for creative stuff, romantic thoughts, okay? Maybe being able to, you know, express yourself romantically to another person a little bit easier than usual. Become like a rico suave, or, you know, like all poetic with your speech, you know, and maybe talking a little bit of sweet baby talk with somebody that you're dating. And that sounds like a lot of fun to me, okay? But those are the positives and the negatives of Mercury moving into Scorpio on the 24th. So on the 30th, we have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio as well, in your 5th house as well. So new moon is when the sun and moon come together, and they are like a father and a mother coming together. And what can they do? They can bring new life. They can birth something. So this is the birth of something brand new for you guys in your world. When it comes to 5th house matters, like all the stuff I just talked about, the romance, the business stuff, the kids. My Cancers can be very fertile this month. That just dawned on me. You know, Venus is in your 5th house in Scorpio until the 18th. And then we've got the sun and the new moon and Mercury. So you could be thinking and talking about kids and maybe actually bringing, you know, one into this world, or working on that. So very fertile energy for you guys, just a fair warning. And Jupiter is hanging out in your 4th house of home and family. That can expand the family, and the 5th house is kind of working on that expansion in a fun way, you know what I'm saying? So I can see that happening for some Cancer. So if you're not trying to make that happen, you're just trying to casually have a good time with another person, you know what I mean? Watch yourself. But if you are into, you know, you're planning out a family, creating, you know, new family members, then this is an energy to take advantage of. Especially the new moon can bring that for you. In other areas, the new moon can bring a new romantic relationship, a new business endeavor, a new creative project, and just a new way of seeing life in a way that makes you feel very confident and have a boost in your self-esteem. All right, so lastly, I'm going to pull 2 cards for you guys, one for the full moon on the 16th, and then one for the new moon on the 30th, okay? So I'm gonna shuffle the cards and I'll be right back with those. All right, Cancer, so these are the cards that came up for you this month in October for the full moon and the new moon. Now, normally what I do is I shuffle to get one card and pull one off of the top after shuffling as many times as my guides have told me to shuffle. But if any of them pop out of the deck while I'm shuffling or fly out, then those ones have a significant meaning for you as well. And I put those to the side and add them to the reading. And since Cancer, you guys are ruled by the moon, the lunar events such as the full moon and the new moon are very, very important for you guys, like a little more important than other signs every month, because you feel them so much more, because that's your ruling planet. So I'm guessing that's why there's a couple of cards that came up instead of one for each lunar event. So moving along, the first card that came up for you, actually, this one is the one that kind of, you know, stood up out of the deck. And this is the 3 of water. Okay, and the message on the card says a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or birth announcement, the need to have more fun. So this full moon is happening in the sign of Aries, and it's in your 10th house of career. So this is a card that, like it says, it can be about a celebration. There's a dolphin on there. There's actually a couple of dolphins. There's one that's hard to see in the background. Or there's actually, no, actually there's 3 of them. And one is in the background laughing. That is this dolphin here. He looks like he's laughing. Yeah, and they look pretty happy. And there's 3 cups, 3 dolphins. So to me, the cups are symbolizing celebration, definitely. And cups usually have to do with, and water cards have to do with emotions. So this can be an emotionally happy time for you guys, where you are celebrating maybe something that you've accomplished or achieved. And this goes along with the card that was on the top of the deck when I shuffled, which is the Magician card. It says, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. And there's a magician on the card, obviously. um, he has the infinity sign above his head. He has the four elements right here on his belt. That's fire, air, water, and earth. And he is a great manifester. Look at that at the top of his wand. He's got some magic going. He's striking something, and also with his hands, he's creating. So, what this is telling me is that my cancers are really up for some great achievement with this full moon in Aries. And since the full moon is in conjunction with Uranus, Uranus is all about the unexpected. You can have some unexpected recognition that's given to you due to your achievements, and that calls for some sort of celebration. Or this can be maybe an actual wedding, because the 10th house has to do with your social status, your status in life, your title. And some of you can hold the title of either husband or wife very, very near and dear to you. It can be very, very important for you. So that can also be the 10th house. And that's where this full moon is residing and bringing things to a culmination there. Uranus can bring the unexpected, but it's not saying that this is like for sure going to be a surprise event that's happening to celebrate for every single Cancer. It can be something that you planned out, but it's just going to be a day that's full of spontaneity and maybe a little bit of a quirky energy of just being your true self, and breakthroughs. Definitely breakthroughs because of the full moon's position, and the sign that it's in and the planet that it's in conjunction with. Now, you guys have Mars and Pluto in your opposite sign, that's causing a lot of breakthrough energy as well for you guys to really work hard to, towards some transformation in life. So this can have to do with this as well, with both of these cards coming up. But there's definitely achievement and celebration that's on the horizon for you guys. So for the new moon on the 30th of October, there's two cards that came up. There is the Ace of Air card, which was the one that stood up out of the deck on its own and wanted to come through to give you a message. So Ace cards, Ace means number one. So this is starting fresh and new. And then air cards are all about the cerebral, the thought processes, the logical, the thinking, right? So this card says brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So this can mean, this new moon is happening in your fifth house, which can deal with not only children, but if you own a business, you're growing a business from scratch on your own, if you are involved in anything creative. And it's also, romantic partnerships with someone, and dating. This, to me, this unicorn has spread his or her wings out so far and has this golden light. That, to me, does symbolize like a fresh new beginning where you're ready to just take off and take flight. Okay, so new moons are, new beginnings anyway. So this is definitely something new, and a new idea for maybe a business venture that you finally say, you know what, I'm just going to jump and fly and do this. Maybe start my own business finally. A lot of my cancers are really, really home based. You really cherish home and being comfortable in your own little shell. So a lot of my cancers can be starting their own home-based business with this card. This can also have to do with romantic relationships where, because it says seeing the truth of a situation, maybe there's one that you have to set free. You have to be free to just say, you know what, I'm not going to be seeing you anymore. This relationship is not going to where I want it to go, or maybe the other person's being too clingy, or maybe you, Cancer, are being expectant of the other person to be a little bit more attentive in this romantic relationship, but it's something casual because this is fifth house that we're talking here, which is just fun and casual and not too many strings attached. And a lot of times cancers, there's weird things that go on with cancers with that type of dating situation. You guys, tend to maybe get attached and want something more, or maybe the other person may get attached to you because you're so nurturing, so caring, you're so catering to the other person, even if it's something casual that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with you, Cancer, you take care of me so well. But you're like, this is just how I am with everyone. Like, chill, dude. All right, chill, homie. We're not really going that far. Okay, I just really like your company. So anyway, this can mean that maybe you need to branch out and free yourself from a situation like that, or maybe you need to be single and free and just enjoy the company of other people without being attached. That's how this card speaks to me as far as the new moon in your fifth house. So maybe just a new beginning in romantic relationships, but also new business ideas that may come up for you as well. And then we have the Six of Fire, which came out on the top of the deck. Fire cards are all about action. Now, the person on the card is on a horse. The horse is in stride and in action, but it's like a slow action. It's not like running, it's kind of just galloping. And you see people are throwing things at him and worshiping. Oh, yes, yes, yeah, yeah, I am the great. Yes, I am the greatest. So this card says the message that's on it is victory. Good news is on the way, public recognition or awards. This kind of feels to me like it could go along with the full moon. It can be a result of the full moon because the full moon is in the 10th house of public recognition and career. But since that happens 2 weeks earlier, it can be that maybe you're like reaping some rewards of that and being recognized because the new moon is in your fifth house of this is also an area of life where you can be popular amongst other people and out and about, like socializing and getting attention and getting your things that boost attention, that boost your self-esteem pretty much. Okay, so this king is very confident. And look, the purple stone at the end of his wand to me represents like creativity, like the crown chakra, like getting creativity just channeled in from out of nowhere, it seems. So this can be being recognized for your creative pursuits because that's what the area of life where this new moon is happening has to do with as well. But it looks like some really, really good news for you guys, okay? So some self-esteem boosting news. And yeah, this just looks like a good month for you guys, for Cancers. The energy can be intense at times, but these cards are just validating that amongst the intensity, there's still going to be some good times, some fun, some recognition. A lot of times Cancers will complain that nobody notices them or nobody, sees what they do, and they're so giving. And this is a month where you may actually get that type of attention that you deserve, Cancer. So that's the cards for October for you guys. All right, Cancer, that was it for your mid-month to late month October 2016 forecast. Sorry these are coming a little late this month, but as I explained in my update video that I posted a few days ago, I started putting my website out there and I got a lot of orders for readings, and that is so awesome because that's the direction that I am trying to move into. So I had to shift the focus there to start doing more readings for people. So hey, keep them coming, guys. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, I didn't really have time to do the horoscopes in a timely manner like I would have wanted to. But here it is. I really hope it was helpful and insightful for you guys. And if you would like a reading from me, IndigoMoonAstrology.com is my new website. Go ahead and hit me up and we'll get something scheduled for you. All right, well, take care of yourselves, Cancers. Have a fun month. Peace.